In the headlines, late Sir John's aide, Charles Owusu, reacts to allegations that his former boss owned lands in the Achimota Forest and has given him some. Meanwhile, Lands Ministry says it will investigate the allegation of Sir John owning lands in the Achimota Forest. Terrorism alert. National Security asks public to be vigilant and report suspicious persons. Floodwater destroys documents at Lands Commission after Saturday's downpour. One person killed with 5 arrested in renewed Doba-Kandiga conflict, and Mozambican President in Ghana for a state visit. We start from the declassification of some portions of the Achimota Forest as a reserve and other matters that are arising from that. Today, it is emerging that the late former Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission, Owusu, popularly known as Sir John, allegedly owned some lands in the forest.
A document purporting to be the last will of Sir John mentioned the said lands and named the persons the land should be given to forever. The said will has been circulating on social media, in which 5 persons, including his children, have been named as the beneficiaries of the said lands. It also mentions one Charles Owusu as beneficiary. It is dated May 20, 2020, a few weeks before Sir John died in July 2020. The said will in circulation was certified at the High Court in August 2021.
This afternoon, Charles Owusu, who served as a special aide to the late Sir John, has broken his silence on the issue. He spoke to Accra-based Asempa FM in a radio interview.
Charles Owusu worked with the late Sir John as an uncle and a nephew. When he was asked whether he said the said Charles Owusu beneficiary named in the document in circulation on social media, Owusu said he would not talk on the issue until the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has completed investigations into the issue.
Well, Obi, people will believe Charles Owusu. Minister John and Dancy, I said Charles Owusu. And he is a monocoswa. Say me, and I'm a was happy, and you will say, John, I will actually out the bar. Ghana for me. Say, Yamia, me person me pre more to America.
Okay.
I saw me. I can say, oh, minimum here. So people say, let me say, I am the move. And to give anybody to try, you would win. And that is why my dear, my oh, be slow. But I'm morning, Sir John. And you're slow. And you're baby, maybe here, and I'm going. But I'm morning, Sir John. And if I see me, as a friend that I announced to you, accept before. Your woman, yet a chain of benefits. Minimum money and my brother. Did I mean who is there? That they make up the diddy button perhaps. No, I'm not like that. If you have to know, that the Utan could do, no, you're the minister. There be a fever. And there be a cock in her. Maybe you make them.
Meanwhile, following the publication of the said will, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has said it will investigate the allegation that Sir John owned some lands in the Achimota Forest.
A press statement issued by the Public Relations Unit of the Sector Ministry said the ministry takes a very serious view of the allegations and has requested for all documents relating to the lands in question. It noted that it is part of an initial inquiry to ascertain the veracity of the claims.
Away from the Achimota Forest issues, some state institutions were not spared in last Saturday's night downpour, which caused flooding in some parts of Accra. The head office of the Lands Commission in Accra received its share as hundreds of documents, computers and scanners were destroyed by flood waters.
A report by the Ghana News Agency said the basement of the new building was heavily submerged in water, leading to the flooding of the records room, files room, and the IT units, all situated at the basement. The affected documents are said to include indentures, land maps, and land documents. Some officers at the Commission's head office Monday morning were seen drying the documents at the forecourt of the office. A team of cleaners were also seen busily scooping water out of the basement.
Turning attention to security issues, where Ghana is on alert to avert a possible terrorist attack which has increased in the West African sub-region, Ghanaians have been advised to be on high alert and report any suspicious persons and activities to the security agencies and people in authority. The Ministry of National Security has announced that there is a growing threat of terrorism in the sub-region and the expansionist drive of terrorist groups towards coastal West African states with renewed modus operandi targeting public gatherings.
At a media briefing in Accra Sunday, the Deputy National Security Coordinator, Edward Kwekwasumeni, said the country was not insulated from terrorist attacks, especially given recent events in Togo, where 10 soldiers were killed on May 11. He explained that in the first quarter of this year, Africa has experienced about 346 terrorist attacks, 49% of which had occurred in West Africa, indicating that the sub-region had become a hotbed for terrorist activities.
Let me also add that our study of the various attacks that is happening in the sub-region, they usually exploit existing fault lines. And when I say fault lines, what do I mean? It could be ethno-religious conflicts, communities that feel alienated or have grievances towards authority. This therefore means that along our border towns, we have some vulnerabilities there. So we are saying to them, if you see anything that is suspicious, speak to a DC, approach the district police commander or a presiding member. Don't think that, oh, this information is innocuous. No. Let the security and intelligence agencies take that decision. Hence, the See Something, Say Something campaign. We are of the view that when Ghanaians own their personal security, when Ghanaians are aware of their environment and conscious of their environment, it would reduce the threat of an attack on our country.
At the same media briefing, the Minister of Information, Kojo Oponkroma, said increasingly intelligence reports suggest that some Ghanaians had been involved in terrorist attacks in the Sahelian region. He said in line with contemporary security practices, one of the best things was to talk about security and get everybody on board.
Increasingly, intelligence reports suggest that some Ghanaians have been involved in terrorist attacks in the Sahelian region. What this signals is that there has been the possible recruitment of Ghanaians by some of these terrorist groups in the West African sub-region. The Ministry of National Security has authorized an increased level of awareness among the intelligence community and seeks to deepen engagement with the Ghanaian public in line with contemporary security practices. We are therefore at this point specifically drawing the attention of persons in the Ghanaian jurisdiction to be more observant and vigilant about our security ecosystem and to draw the attention of the police, other security agencies, and local community leaders immediately they observe anything out of the ordinary.
And in Upper East region, one person has died while others have been arrested in a renewed clash between Doba and Kandiga communities in the Kasina-Nankana municipality. According to information gathered, there was sporadic shootings among residents of both communities which left one person dead.
It is, however, unclear what triggered a renewal of conflict between residents of both communities who had been at each other's throats over the years over boundary disputes. Some commuters who were using the Bolgatanga-Navrongo-Paga highway who were caught in a crossfire sped off to save their lives. Some women numbering about 400, with some carrying their young babies at their back, amid crying and singing, stormed the palace of the paramount chief to appeal to him to urgently take steps to end the conflict between the two rival towns.
It's happening now at the palace.
And before we go, the president of Mozambique is in Ghana for a state visit. He arrived in Accra on Sunday night. Today, he held bilateral talks with President Akufo-Addo and visited the AFCFTA Secretariat. A state banquet will be held in his honor this evening. Graphic Online's News in Brief is brought to you by Graphic News Plus.
Download your Graphic News Plus now and choose your preferred package daily, weekly, monthly, and annually, and access free news on various interest areas as well. Visit us on graphic.com.gh for further information. Graphic News Plus, connecting people through news.
Thank you for watching. Stay safe and protect yourself from COVID-19. For more news, visit graphic.com.gh or log on to Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube at GraphicGH. I'm Ama Amankwa Befi.
Subscribe now.